Okay, good evening, guys. Ubuntu as a WSL to your Windows machine, right? So today I have successfully installed that. Okay, so right now you can see that there is a particular application icon which is saying that it's a Ubuntu, right? So I hope that you can see this, right? Okay, so you guys can see this, right? This application. Okay, so this is WSL Ubuntu. Okay, so this is WSL Ubuntu. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that particular application. Okay, so why I told you to install this WSL version means if how to select, if some person is having any lack of hardware utility to run Kali Linux or a virtual machine, so what he can do, he can run those commands, or he can do how to like a partial how to like a fully pen testing in this WSL. I'm not saying that you can do in a full-fledged manner. Okay, you can't do that. Okay, so but we can do some basic pen testing, we can do some network monitoring, we can do some how to like we can maintain the server, we can access a server, we can initiate certain attacks. Okay, we can use metadata. Okay, so there are a lot more how to say possible utilities in this WSL version. Okay, and you can push your limitations also. Okay, so that's the reason why I told you to install what WSL Ubuntu also. And not only that, we all know that whenever we are running Kali Linux on a virtual machine. Okay, so right now you are seeing VMware. Okay, so whenever you are running Kali Linux in VMware, you will be getting tons and tons of errors. And some situation your if something is happening to your VM files. Okay, so right now you can see that all my VM machines in left hand side, you can see that I have how to select, I have a Windows machine, I have a Windows virtual machine over here. So in this right hand side, you can see that I have a the file which will be representing for that particular Windows virtual machine. So I have located that in the safe location. Okay, so you have to do this. Okay, if something is happening to this file, what will happen? Your entire project or your entire lab will get corrupt. Okay, so in future classes I will be forwarding, guys, like one by one I will be forwarding all the labs. Okay, so we will be trying to do all of our pen testing inside these labs. Okay, so how to like we have plenty of labs, not only this. Okay, so we have more than how to like 25 plus labs are there. And I will be sharing some files, and unfortunately, how to say that this files having more than 2 GB or 3 GB file size, so somehow you need to download this. Okay, so anyway, make sure that you guys are going to save these virtual machines in a safe location. Okay, so personally me, what I'm doing is I'm trying to save this inside my C drive. So I have created a how to say, like a fancy name, X class. So inside that VM file, do not delete. So that's my safe location. Okay, so I know that what is inside that. Okay, so it's a VM file and I'm not supposed to delete this. Okay, so try to save this in a safe location. Okay, and if something is happening, for example, we know you guys can see this, I'm running a how to like a VM file over here, right? I'm running a Kali Linux VM file. If I am going to delete or I am going to rename a file name, for example, this is the file that I'm going to this is the file that I'm right now I'm running. Okay, this is the Kali Linux, and this is the file which will be representing. If I'm trying to rename, or if some files are missing here, what will happen? This Kali Linux will not be working, or we will not get access to this Kali Linux, or it will not run. Okay, so make sure it is in a safe location. Okay, so first of all, that's the thing. And today's how to say, today's class we will be learning some Linux basic and how to get some of the hacking tools from the GitHub repository. What is GitHub? And you have to create a GitHub account. Okay, definitely if you think that I need to move my career to cybersecurity or ethical hacking or penetration testing as a bug bounty, definitely you need a what you need a GitHub account. So I will show you what is GitHub and how can you explore GitHub in the case of cybersecurity or in hacking. Okay, so for how to say, for the beginning session, I'm not going to use Kali Linux because I need to show you that hacking is a cross platform. Okay, so that's the reason. So right now I am inside I'm inside what I'm inside the WSL version of Kali sorry, a WSL version of Ubuntu inside my Windows machine. I'm not using my VMware right now. Okay, I'm not using my VMware, so I'm going to minimize that. So if I'm going to type ls command, okay, one second. Okay, fine. If I'm going to type ls commands, what will happen? I can see all my directories over here as similar to the Kali Linux. I can see my old directories. And how to, like, if I think that I need to move to downloads, what I can do, I can just go to downloads. Okay, fine. I think I am getting error over here, but how to, like, you can do this. Okay, so not only that, you can also install Kali Linux also as similar way. So I have also installed Kali Linux inside the WSL also, and you can run, you can how to say, you can install various of applications in your how to select in your terminal, okay, in your command prompt. So anyway, let me show this as a car Linux right now. Okay, so if I'm giving ls command, you can see that I have some files over here, some private files over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all those files. Okay, so we learned the command how to remove all those files without any how to say without any complications or bringing those files to the trash. Okay, so how to do that? So we can use rm for removing, and we are forcefully removing a particular file, and I'm going to remove all those files from my home directory. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the sudo password. So what will happen? All those files will be erased right now. Okay, so basically how to say, we learned certain commands like ls, cd, and cd double dot, and how to create a directory, how to remove a directory, how to create a file, how to create a hidden files or a hidden directory, certain things, right? So right now we will be exploring some networking area. As per after that we will be learning some things about GitHub also, and after that directly we will be going to the very first or the very initial process in cybersecurity or in ethical hacking, which is known as information gathering. Okay, so we will be moving towards the ethical hacking portion, which is known as information gathering. Along moving with ethical hacking content, we will learn some beginner level also. Okay, so we can't spare some time for beginners ethical hacking or defensing or retaining. Okay, so we have to learn day by day, or we will be going how to select in their curriculum. You will be learning some beginner to pro level also. Okay, professional level also. Okay, fine. So let me how to select, let me show you what is GitHub account. Okay, so this is the GitHub platform. I hope that how to select one or two guys will be knowing what is GitHub and all. So it's a open source. How to select, you can publish your codes, and you can make it as a review, or you can if you have any open source program, you can upload over there. You can keep a private program, private codes over there. It's like an open library. Okay, so for basically in cybersecurity, hackers or developers or penetration testing developers are creating how to select some of the awesome tools that will be able to exploit most of the vulnerabilities or most of the service which is running right now in the internet. Okay, so this is my GitHub profile. Okay, so right now you are seeing my GitHub profile. So you can come to my GitHub profile, which is known as Kerala Hacker. Okay, so you can come to here. So the link will be github.com/Kerala Hacker. So that's my username inside GitHub profile. So you can come to here. Okay, so you can come to my GitHub profile, and in this bar you can see there is a option called repositories. Okay, so repositories will be the files or the, how to say, the folders that have created, and the folders will be representing what the actual program. Okay, for example, you can see that we will in future classes we will be learning about a C2. A C2 means command to control. Okay, so using this C2 we will manage to compromise certain devices. For example, we can compromise a Windows machine, a Windows 11 or a Windows 10 machine. Okay, so this is a command to control. Okay, so in future classes we will be using this. So you can see whenever I'm trying to click one of my repositories. Okay, so if I'm going to my repositories and you're coming to this particular C2 control or a particular program or a particular folder, you will be redirect to a particular page. Okay, so this particular page will having entire code of that particular that particular C2 source code. Okay, so this is a source code, or this is known as a hacking tools or hacking script. Okay, so using this script we will be able to execute certain things, and those things are being explained inside the readme file. Okay, there is a particular file name which is known as readme.emd. Okay, so in this file all those help menus or wikis, or how to run the tool, or how what is the purpose and what was the creator, and if there is any group behind this particular scripting, each and every thing will be written in an article format. Okay, so right now you can see this particular GitHub repository is having what, a wiki page. So using this wiki page we will be able to install this particular C2 to our, or command to control to our Kali Linux. Okay, so in future classes only we will be learning much more about this particular C2. It's one of the, how to say, one of the popular and one of the updated repositories which is used for commanding control. Okay, so let us go for how to like if you are coming to my GitHub repository and if you are exploring yourself, you can see that how to like 85 to 92 percentage of cybersecurity hacking tools are in my GitHub repository, because I used to collect all those powerful and real world hacking tools inside my GitHub repository. Okay, so today we will be learning about information gathering. Okay, so in information gathering, if I'm, let me take one of my script which is known as recon doc. Okay, so come to my GitHub repository, we can search for a a particular GitHub repo. Okay, so if I am typing for a recon, okay, so you can see that there is a particular repository which is known as recon doc. Okay, so how to bring this particular source code or this particular hacking tool to your Kali Linux. Okay, so that's the objective. So how to bring that? Okay, so directly I'm moving towards my WSL. Okay, so I'm using my WSL right now. So after that, I will be showing you guys using the Kali Linux. Okay, so first we have to check whether there is a particular utility which help us to communicate with the github.com. Okay, so utility is known as git. Okay, git. We have to verify that whether the git is installed in our system or inside our terminal or not. Okay, so right now you can see that it is successfully installed or it is pre-installed. Okay, so in the case of Kali Linux, we are already pre-installed this. Okay, or Kali Linux's developers are already pre-installed this particular utility which is known as git. Okay, so in some machines, like if you are moving towards like a operating system called Manjaro, there is a Linux version which is known as Manjaro, or you are going to Garuda Linux, which is created by Indian developers or Indian Linux developers. Okay, it is also used for penetration testing. You can write down, okay, Garuda Linux. Okay, you can go to Google, or you can go to Bing, or you can search for Garuda Linux. It is created by Indians or Indian like a Indian Linux developers, and we can use that for penetration testing purpose also. It's a very good how to say, it is having a very good interface, and very simple how to say, it is very simple to use and user friendly also. Okay, so if you are using such an operating system, what you have to do, you have to manually install this. So we have to learn how to install a third-party software, or how to install a program or a package to the Kali Linux or to a Linux machine. Okay, it's very simple. First of all, we are trying to install an application, right? So we are trying to install application. So what we need permission. So for that purpose, I'm going to use sudo, and after that you have to mention that what you are trying to install. Okay, so or what you are trying to do. We are trying to install a application or a package. Okay, for that purpose, I am going to say apt. Okay, for apt is used for communicating with the app manager or with the applets. Okay, so after that we will be saying using apt, what we are trying to do, we are trying to install certain things. So I'm going to say install. Okay, so I'm going to say install, and after that I'm going to say install what. I'm going to say I need to install git, because that's a utility. Okay, so the syntax is very simple. Sudo is used for asking permission. Okay, apt is used for that we are saying that we are going to do something with the application or with the package, and what we are doing with that, we are trying to install. And what we are trying to install, we are trying to install the utility which is known as git. Okay, and I'm going to give a enter button. I have to provide the Kali's password, which is a default KALI. Okay, and I have to wait. After that, what will happen, the utility git will be installed. Okay, so right now it is pre-installed, and if it is having any updation, what will happen, the updation will be done over here. Okay, so let me clear my screen. I'll be trying to install a new package. Okay, for example, which is not installed or pre-installed to my machine. Okay, using this particular application or using this particular utility, you can check whether the current system specification of your machine. Okay, so sudo apt, we are doing something with the application or with the package manager. And what we are doing with the package manager, we are trying to install. So what we are trying to install, we are trying to install a utility which is known as neo fetch. Okay, so we are trying to install neofetch. Okay, so within few seconds you can see what is the utility of neofetch. Okay, so I'm trying to hit enter button, and whenever I'm trying to hit the enter button, you can see right now that it is asking for me a permission. Okay, I hope that it is very visible to you guys, right? Can you guys can see this? Is this readable right now? Can anybody tell me whether you can read this? I hope so. Okay, so it's saying that do you want to continue? Why this is asking? Okay, so if you are trying to install certain things, or if you are going for a upgrade, there will be a question like this. Okay, so why this it is saying like this? After the installing this much of package to your machine, what will happen? It will be trying to download this much size of a archive file or a zip file. After the zip file, what will happen? The entire process, okay, after the entire unzipping process, it will be increased to a 15.6 MB. Okay, so they are giving that they will be using additional space of your hard disk or your particular storage unit. Okay, so for me, what I'm trying to say is, if you guys are trying to do this, okay, if you guys are trying to do this, what you have to do, include -y in your command. Okay, include your -y in the command. Why we are using -y means, already we are saying that, okay, fine, I have the intention to install all those packages, and I know it will take some storage space. Okay, so for giving y in this area, what we are doing, we are giving it in a initial position. Okay, so let me give a enter. So right now you can see that it is not asking for me, asking for, do you want to continue? Okay, so we are blindly agreeing for the storage utility. Okay, so let's wait for that. And not only that, almost every application is having a man page. Okay, so you have to read all those things are written, or how to say, don't think that these writings are given for any fancy stuff. Okay, so individual lines are having a meanings. Okay, individual lines having a meaning. Okay, for example, let me say, like, see this, right now they are trying to prepare. Okay, fine, this line they are trying to down, they have already downloaded a package which is saying neofetch. Okay, and they are trying to unpack the package. Okay, so why they're unpacking that, then only they can shift this particular package to a safe location, to the internal file location. In previous class I told you that if you are trying to give a cd double dot, what will happen, you will go back to home directory, and again if you are going cd double dot, you can see the system files, right? So system files. So in this line, where is it, where it is, okay, in this line they are saying that we are trying to unpack or unzip this package which is known as neofetch. Okay, so what it will be trying to shift to the, or it will be trying to copy or unzip that particular neofetch packet to your system files. So where is the system files? Okay, so there is two possibilities, neither it can be go to etc, okay, or it can go to bin file. Okay, so right now I'm going with etc. Okay, so if I'm going to give cd etc, give a enter button, let me clear the screen for a good visibility. I'm going to clear the screen. If I'm going to give ls command, what will happen means, everything will be printed in my screen, and it will be so tough to find which is neofetch Anode. So for that purpose, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to clear my screen. In previous class I told you we can use a particular utility which is known as grep, right? So give the py command or pipe command, and I'm going to say grep neo. Okay, just I'm saying neo only and giving enter button. Fine, I'm not getting anything related to neo, and I can go for neo fetch. So nothing is inside this particular directory which is related to neo fetch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going back to the system files, and I'm going, this time I'm going with bin file. Okay, and I'm not giving the full ls command, I'm trying to go for neofetch. Okay, so right now you can see that there is a directory which is named neofetch. Okay, so let me go to, okay, wait one thing, because I need to check whether it is a how to select, it's a directory or not. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say ls hyphen lh and give enter button. Okay, fine, so this is not a directory. See, there is no any d over here. Okay, I told you that in future classes we will learn how to change the properties and what are this x, r, w, and why it is written d and all. Okay, I told you in previous class. Okay, so for right now, just understand that if any file in the beginning, okay, in the initial it is saying like d, that's a directory. Okay, so in this portion, this is not a directory, it's a utility. Or if I'm going with file neofetch, okay, you can see that what, it's a executable. See, it's a text executable. That means this is a particular file which contains a series of code, and it can be executable. Okay, so just keep in your mind everything that when you're trying to install or when you're trying to do upgrade, the things are written in your terminal, is not written for any fancy stuff. Okay, so try to read this, and if you're a if you're a good in self learning, definitely you can explore more things inside Linux. Okay, and how to select, try to read these things. Okay, so anyway, at the end of this particular how to select the particular log that was being created when you're trying to install the applet or the particular application, you can see it is having a man dba. It is having what, it is having the man command. So why we are using man command? So using this man command, we will be able to study about that, or we will be get the manual page. Okay, so let's see whether I'm getting the man page of the neofetch. Okay, so I'm going to type man and I'm going to give the utility name, which is neo. See, I'm getting the man page or the manual page of NeoFetch and all those possible arguments. So what is arguments? Okay, so if a utility, okay, so we have a particular utility in network defense or networking, which is known as Nmap. Okay, so Nmap is having tons of more than 22 or how to say, most probably a 35 plus arguments are there for Nmap, and those 35 plus arguments are daily used by ethical hackers as well as red teamers also, especially by black hat hackers to find vulnerabilities to get information about their victims. Okay, so you have to by heart those 35 plus arguments. Okay, so every utility have this. If a utility have hyphen hyphen saying something, that means what? It's a optional arguments. Okay, so let me go back to the home page and let me show what is this NeoFetch. Okay, so it's not a very big utility that should be used in cybersecurity, but I have to show that you guys how to install application and what happens when you're trying to install application. Okay, so see this, it will be trying to display the current config of the Kali Linux which I have given over here. You can see what is the OS name and what is the host. Right now you can see it's a VMware virtual platform. Okay, so for the past 1 hour and 11 minutes I am running this particular application or this particular Kali Linux. Okay, this is my uptime. Okay, this is my uptime and how many packages, okay, how many apts are presented in this Kali Linux. You can see the count. Okay, what is the current shell, what is the current terminal I am using. Okay, so the shell is provided by EZSH. Okay, so you have to get aware of what kind of shell I'm using right now. Okay, so there is a particular shell which is known as bash. Okay, so let me show that if you are typing BASH and giving enter button, and if I'm going with NeoFetch. Okay, if I'm going with NeoFetch, in here it is saying that I'm not okay, fine. It is something different from EZSH, but I don't know why it is showing like that. Okay, so in here it will not try to do what, it will not try to do the autofill. So you can see it over here. If I'm going with autos like something the previous commands, it will not try to do the autofill. But if I'm going to type cd downloads, what will happen? You can see it is written in the autofilling command, because EZH is having an inbuilt feature which is known as fish. Okay, EZH is having an inbuilt feature which is known as fish. Okay, and if anybody have any doubt, means you can, don't hesitate, just turn on your mic and you can ask.
Hi, sir. Shikha this side.
Yeah.
Actually, sir, I just like, or you said I didn't get what is the function of a neo command. Why we use it here?
Yeah, basically I told you that this is not very necessary or a command that we should learn inside cybersecurity, but it's just used for showcasing what is your present OS and where you're running this, what is the uptime. Okay, it's just a simple utility to show you guys how to install certain applications. Okay.
Okay, so it provides all about the description, or you said a measure about.
Yeah, it provides all the details about the Kali Linux. Fine.
Okay, and there is no other function of this?
There is no any other function, cybersecurity or any other technical utility with this particular application. Okay. Basically just show you guys how to install an application. For example, Kali Linux does not right now have a particular software which is known as VNC or VLC. You know what is VLC, right? Which is used for a media player. I hope you guys know that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we wish that we need to install VNC. What we will be doing for Windows, we will be going to the Google and we will be trying to download a VNC exe file, and we will be forwarding with the installation wizard, right? It will be saying that click next. You have to choose certain preference will be there. We have to select certain options, and after that we will be completing the installation process, right? But inside Linux machines or inside Ubuntu, what we can do means we can simply install that by giving apt install VLC enter and give the I think we have to give the Kali Linux password. Okay, see this, right now it is trying to install VNC. Okay, it's that simple to install an application. The only thing that we have to know is what is the actual application name. Okay, that is how to select that is that this Kali Linux able to find it. Okay, So every application will be having a name. Okay, so we have to find the application name and we can use the apt install command to install the application. So right now I have successfully installed VLC. So if I'm going to application and this time I'm going to type VLC, you can see that I have successfully installed a VLC player. Okay, so using apt space install and the application name, you will be able to install applications, right? I hope you guys got the point. Do you guys got that? Is there any doubt with apt space install and the application name? If there is, I can show you one more example or I can move forward. I hope there is no any doubt with apt install. Okay, so let me clear this. And if I'm coming back to if I'm coming back to Kali Linux, okay. Okay, I will be showing one more example. Okay, fine. So right now, what I'm going to do is I will be trying to clear my WSL. Okay, so right now I am only showing my WSL. Okay, so this is the WSL, which is I have already, I hope so, I have already installed NeoFetch inside my WSL also. Fine. So right now you are seeing my what? My WSL Kali Linux features. Okay, so you can see that there is only 501 package available. Okay, the shell is a bash shell, which I told you before. The terminal is Windows terminal. See what is my CPU performance and what are the RAM that can be used by Kali Linux and what are the color coding that will be given to my Kali terminal, my WSL Kali terminal. Okay, that's only the utility of NeoFetch. Okay, so right now let me try to install an application like how to select okay, fine. So in upcoming classes we will be learning brute forcing. Okay, we will be learn online brute forcing. In that time we will be using how to like a hacking utility which is known as Hydra. Okay, online brute forcing tool. So right now Hydra is not installed to my WSL. You can see that, right? So whenever I'm going to type Hydra, what will happen? My Windows will be saying that no, there is no any command which is named Hydra. So how to install that? It's very simple. I'm saying about Linux machines. Okay, whether it's Kali Linux or a normal Ubuntu machine. Okay, so the command will be sudo because I am going to install something. Okay, fine. So let me show you an example without sudo. Okay, and for example, how to know whether you have a root privilege or not. Okay, so if you have a pen and paper, just write it down. Just type the command who am I. So while typing who am I, you can find that whether you have a root permission or not. Okay, so if you have the user's password, for example, this is my username, which is known as Max. Okay, so that's the reason who am I showing like Max. If I am typing the command sudo su and give enter, okay, give enter, what will happen? It will be asking me the Max password. So Max password is, I have given Max password and giving enter button. So right now, I hope, let me zoom and you can see that till this point, okay, till this point, who was I was Max. Okay, I was Max, a normal user. I was a normal user, but from this point, okay, from this point, if I am typing the command who am I will be what? I will be root, and I have all those privileges. I have all those privileges. I am a powerful user over here. Okay, so I'm going to type the command who am I. Okay, see the difference. I'm a normal user over here. Okay, so I'm a normal user over here, and right now I'm a privileged user. Okay, so I can run any command over here. Okay, I can run any command over here without giving sudo. Okay, so you should experience that, or you should how to say, you have to do your homework. Okay, just if you have your Kali Linux up running right now, just type the command sudo su, okay, which is used for elevating from a normal user to a high privilege user to or a high hierarchy user. Okay, you have to provide your user's password. In the case of Kali Linux, you have to provide the default password, which is known as Kali. You have to provide that, and you can change, you can see the change. Okay, you will be shifting from normal Kali to root at Kali. Okay, so let me show that inside the Kali Linux. Okay, so right now you can see if I'm going to type the command who am I'm Kali. I'm just a normal user. Okay, I'm just a normal user. and I'm going to give the command sudo su. What will happen? Just wait a second. I will be trying to elevate myself to a root user. See the difference. I am going to type who am I. See, I'll be a root user. Okay. So inside this root user, if I'm going to type the command apt update, it will try to update. There is no any sudo required. Okay. So first of all, you have to understand that what is user, a normal user, and what is a root user. Okay. So anyway, let me come back to the WSL and let me clear the screen also, and let me exit from the root user. Okay. So I'm going to clear the screen. Fine. So I told you that we will be trying to install an application which is named as Hydra. Okay. So how to install this? We have to provide sudo for the permission, apt. We are doing with something with the applets. We are trying to install, okay, Hydra. So right now you can see that it is trying to install Hydra. See, it is trying to install the Hydra, and all those files are the libraries or the dependencies that will help Hydra to run. Okay. So if a file like this, okay, if a file like this does not how to be installed successfully, what will happen? Hydra will not run. Okay. So all those files are like how to say, like drives. Okay. We know that for running certain applications, or if you are how to say, like a computer science students, you know that in C++ we will be using certain libraries, right? Or if you are a IoT developer, or if you know something like a Arduino language, we will be trying to add some Arduino libraries for what? For running those applications in a successful format, right? So similarly, Hydra requires those libraries to run in a successful manner. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to give -y enter. Okay. So right now I have successfully installed Hydra to my machine. Okay. So right now in between you can see that I'm getting certain errors, but okay, fine. The reason means I am not updated my um, WSL Kali. Okay. So that's the reason. So if you are getting error similar to me, what you have to do, you have to update your Kali. Okay. So fine, 1 second. Okay, so right now I'm not getting any error. I hope that it will be installing successfully. Okay, so it will take some time. Okay, so that's an example for how to install application. Okay, so for how to say, for covering each and every topic in our this particular course, or every module in this particular course, all those softwares or all those programs are already pre-installed Kali Linux. Okay, nothing is required to install from a third party or any other software is required. All those tools are already pre-installed inside Kali Linux, but you have to learn the basics. Okay, so that's the reason why I just shown you how to do this. Okay, so let's come back to my GitHub repository and let's see how to bring this particular tool to, or this particular information gathering tool to our Kali Linux. Okay, so just go to my Kerala Hacker repository, just type recon dog. Okay, which is how to say, like a reconnaissance Swiss Army knife. It's given as a title. Okay, so first of all you have to learn what is reconnaissance. Okay, so reconnaissance is a term which is introduced from military agents. Okay, so if you are going to Google and you're typing for recon, and just go to Google image, and you can see that it's an actual term used by militaries to study about their enemies. Okay, so first of all you have to study about their enemies, then only you will be initiating a war against your enemy country or to your enemy, right? Similarly, hackers use this term to how to select, to understand about our victim or our target or our client. Okay, first of all we need to understand that what is our target. We need to get information. Using those information, what we'll do, we will do the next stage or next step, right? So first of all we need to get a tool that enables us to find details about our target or our suspect. Okay, so in this case we will be using recon dog. It's a very simple basic level tool that can be used by any beginners. I'm not saying it's a professional tool, it's a very simple tool. Okay, just built to give you understand that what does a hacking tool, what does a beginner level information gathering tool, and what how to run this. Okay, just take it like that. It's not a advanced level, it's not an intermediate level, it's just a beginner level tool. Okay, so tomorrow onwards only we will be moving towards how to like a beginning intermediate or beginning to a advanced level. information gathering tools. Okay, so right now just use this particular tool. Okay, so there are three different ways to bring a script or entire GitHub repository to your Kali Linux. The first way is to copy the entire URL. Okay, is to copy an entire URL from the URL portion. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. Or what you can do means come to this green box. Okay, you can come to this green box which is saying code, and here also we have a clipboard. Okay, but there is a slight difference. Okay, so when you are going towards the URL portion, you can see that there is no any dot git written. Okay, so let me show you that in this particular URL session it is not written dot git. Okay, there is no any extension which is saying dot git. But if you are going towards this green dot, okay, green box which is saying the URL is given over here, at the end you can see it is given what, at the end it is saying that dot git. Okay, don't get worried about that, the both URLs are very same. Okay, so if I'm going to type how to say dot git over here and giving enter button, I will get the same page. See, I will get the same page, so don't get confused about that. So that's the one method. You can copy neither URL from here, or you can copy the URL from here. Okay, or you can directly download the zip file. Okay, so think first of all, if you are using Windows machine to download, what will happen? You have to bring that zip file to your where, to your Kali Linux. Okay, so that will be a little headache for a complete beginner, so I'm not suggesting that. Okay, so I will be suggesting you with the two method. Okay, the first method, come over here, copy URL from here, or neither from here. Okay, so I'm copying URL from here because that's the way I used to do. Okay, so I will be copying URL from there, and keep remind, don't try to split it out all of the GitHub tools or a hacking script, that is personal script also, in the home directory. Okay, try to create a directory like this. Okay, so how to create a directory, we have already learned that. How to do that? Just use mkdir and just provide the name of the directory that you wish. Okay, so I have already created a directory which is known as GitHub. Okay, so in that format you can organize all your tools. Okay, so let me go to my GitHub. Okay, and let me go to GitHub tools, and if I'm giving ls command, you can see that I have already bring that h2 to my, oh sorry, c2 my commanding control to my this particular directory. But I will suggest you guys to create something like how to select mkdir. You can do something like recon. Okay, so in this recon directory, see this, there is no any permission to create a directory without using sudo. Okay, so let me include sudo command. Okay, so why I'm saying that, to create everything in a categorized format. So if you think that I need to use a tool for information gathering, suddenly you can open the recon tool. Okay, you can create a particular directory which is known as remote control, which is used for remote attacking. You can use you can create a directory for wireless attack, which is used for Wi-Fi penetration testing. You can create for network penetration testing, DNS recon. So try to create or try to categorize your attacks in a different folders. Okay, so anyway, I'm not compelling anyone to do that, but if you're doing like this, you can categorize each and every tools. Otherwise what will happen means all of the tools will be in one directory, and you will not able to find the appropriate tool in certain scenarios, because I have faced that issue. Okay, so anyway, let me go to recon. Okay, and I'm going to clear the screen. So the utility will be, we have to give the permission, so that's why sudo, and the utility is git. Okay, I hope that you can see this. Okay, the utility is git, and after that we have to say we have to download that, right? So there is an alternative term for download, what? Cloning. So whenever we are trying to download a file from the internet, what actually we are trying to do, we are actually making a clone of that original file to our desktop or to our mobile device, right? So we need to say clone. Okay, okay, we are using the GitHub, we are using git git to communicate with the github.com, and using those communication, what we are trying to do, we are trying to clone, or we are trying to download. The actual term is clone. Okay, we are cloning what? We have to provide the URL. Okay, it's that simple. Okay, the syntax is that simple. Sudo is used for permission, fine. Sudo is used for permission, and git is used for asking permission to the GitHub, and clone is used to download, and why, and we have to say what we have to clone. Okay, so okay, I hope that you get this particular syntax, and just give the enter button. Okay, and and suddenly you can see that it is trying to clone the particular repository. And if I'm giving ls command, you can see the directory is created. Fine. And I'm using the cd command, give ls. Okay, give the ls command. You can see we have successfully bring all those files to our Kali Linux. Okay, so if I'm keeping this side by side, just a moment. Okay, I hope you can see this. Okay, if I'm keeping this side by side, you can see all those files and directories are right now inside our Kali Linux. Okay, it's that simple to do. Is any doubt with how to clone this and what did I do right now? Is there any doubt? Because it is very fundamental to know in cybersecurity, or you are using a GitHub. Is there any doubt with this? Should I show one more example? Because tomorrow onwards, I will be saying you guys to bring those tools from my GitHub repository. Okay, so you have to do that. I will not try to repeat this again and again because it's very simple. If anyone has any doubt with this particular example, I can show you one more time. Okay, so I will be showing you one more time, just a moment. Okay, so right now there is only a recon doc. Let me go back to my GitHub profile. Okay, I'm going back to my GitHub profile. Okay, so let me find another information gathering tool. 1 second. Just a moment, guys. Okay. Red Hong. Okay, so Red Hong is also an information gathering tool. Okay, so try to bring this recon dog and Red Hong also. So that will be a good practice to do in a beginner level information gathering. Okay, so this is the GitHub repository for Red Hong. Okay, the URL will be github.com/Kerala hacker without any space, Kerala hacker, HACKER /Red Hong, and try to check the spelling also. There is a underscore. Okay, so try to remember that. Okay, so I'm going to copy the URL. Okay, I will be coming back to my GitHub repository, GitHub file, and I am inside the recon. Okay, so I will be using sudo git. I'm trying to clone. Okay, and I'm trying to give the URL, giving enter button, just waiting git to clone. It is successfully cloned right now. So you can see that there is a new directory, and I'm going towards the directory, giving ls command. You can see all those files are created. Okay, it's that simple to run. Okay, it's that simple to use this particular utility. Okay, fine. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use recon dog. Okay, so I'm going to go with the recon dog. Fine. So right now let's see what we should do with this recon dog. Okay, so every hacking tools, okay, or every cybersecurity tool has a readme file which contains all those instructions how to run this tool. Okay, so how to run this tool. So let me go to my github.com/Kerala hacker, and let me go to the recon dog. Okay, okay, so when you're coming to this recon dog, there is a readme file and all those how to select. It's a passive and act it's a how to select. It's a passive and active information gathering. Tomorrow we will be learning what is a passive and active information gathering. Okay, so after that you can see what is the instructions to run this particular utility. Okay, so whenever you are seeing a GitHub repository which contains a file name which is known as requirement.txt, that means for running this particular hacking tool, we need certain requirement files. Okay, so these are the requirement files which will be helping this tool to run. Okay, so these are the two different applications, or the two different libraries which will be helping this recon dog to run without any error in our Kali Linux. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to install this requirements right now. Okay, so how to install that? First of all, let me check that this file name. Okay, so this is the file that we have to run. It is written dog. Okay, fine. So I'm giving the ll command to see whether it is having any execution permission or not. Okay, so I hope that I didn't issue a particular command which is known as chmod. Okay, so first of all, you can see this core is a directory. It is having what? A d command. Okay, so right now we have to focus one more flag or one more how to say like a particular property which is known as x. Okay, so if I am coming to this plex, you can see there is a x parameter, right? There is a x parameter, but if I am going with this dog file, there is no any x parameter. The x parameter is missing over here. What is this x parameter? Okay, x parameter is used for executions, okay, for running the command. Okay, so for running this particular utility which is known as dog, what you have to do, we need to give the execution permission. Okay, so how to give the execution permission? We have to add those permissions, right? So technically saying, we have to add the x parameter. So for adding those x parameter, we have to change or we have to give some modifications, right? So let me clear and give the ll command. So how to add the parameters or missing parameters, or how to add the execution parameter? The command will be chmod. Okay, we are doing a modification to a file. Okay, so what we are trying to do, we are trying to add, okay, we are trying to add, and what we're trying to add, we are trying to add the x parameter to which file? To the dog file. Okay, and give enter button. So I hope that you saw that when we are giving the command sudo chmod plus x, what will happen? It will be trying to add the x parameter to the file that we'll be trying to specify. Okay, so when you're seeing this doc a particular command or this particular file, okay, so this particular file does not contains what? Does not contains the x parameter. It does not contains the x parameter over here. Okay, so whenever we are trying to give the x parameter using chmod plus x, what will happen? We will get the x parameter. See, we will get the x parameter. So let me ask you a question: how to remove this x parameter? It's very simple. What I have to do, replace the plus symbol with the minus, and what will happen? The x parameter will be removed. Okay, the x parameter will be removed. And I'm not saying Kali Linux is providing a universal color code for every Linux machine, but almost every Linux machine has their own terminal color coding. So in here you can see it is in a white color, and in Kali Linux it is showing like in a cyan color. That means whenever a file is in a cyan color, it will be having execution permission, or you have to use the ll command to identify whether it is having a x permission or not. Okay, so right now it is ready to run right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let me add the x parameter. Okay, so I'm going to add the, fine, I just need to add the, okay, 1 second. Fine, so right now it is having the x parameter. Okay, so let me run this using sudo doc and give enter button. So let's see whether I'm getting error or not. So right now I'm not getting any error. So why I'm not installing the requirement.txt means it is already pre-installed to the Kali Linux. Okay, so those two how to select those two requirement files are already pre-installed to the Kali Linux. In future classes we will be managed to install those. How to select, if there is no any errors, if there is any error, I will manage to show you guys how to install those requirement.txts. Okay, so right now the command that used to run this particular command is sudo. Okay, so it's a bash command, or it is a like a, for in Linux, for running certain applications or running certain programs, we can use dot forward slash. Okay, we can use dot forward slash, and we have to provide the code name or the execution file name, which is dog. Okay, and I'm giving enter button. So right now you can see the interface of recon dog version 2.0. Okay, so using this recon dog, we will be able to get information related to what? We will be get information related to the ns lookup, the port scan. Okay, we will be get who is lookup. Okay, we can detect whether there is a honeypot or not, the subdomains, reverse ip lookup. Okay, we can detect the technology behind those ip address or website that we are trying to provide. Okay, so these are the basic utilities or basic functionality of recon dog. Okay, so how to use this? It's very simple. For example, we can go with the how to select who is ns lookup. Okay, so I'm going to go with the fifth option. I'm going to select the 5 and give enter button. Neither we can provide the domain or the ip address. Okay, so right now I'm going with github.com. Okay, github.com, and I'm going to give the enter button. So right now it will be trying to get all the informations related to what the who is lookup. Okay, so right now I'm getting error over here. I don't know why. I told you this is a beginner friendly tool which gives you an idea how to run certain tools and what is information gathering in a beginner format. Okay, so anyway, I hope you guys will not getting any error, or if you're selecting 0 and giving enter, and or you can provide IP address. Okay, so let me try to find a website. Okay, so I'm going to go with keralauniversity.ac.in. Okay, it's Kerala University website. So I will be using a plugin which is known as NS lookup. Okay, so using NS lookup in how to like in Firefox uh, add-on store. Okay, or you can go to Chrome add-on store and you can type for the how to like a plugin which is known as NS lookup. Okay, so using NS lookup you can find almost a, I'm not saying every website IP address, the website that is not protected by Cloudflare or any other reverse proxies, what we will be getting their actual IP address. Okay, we will be getting their actual IP address using this particular plugin. Okay, so why I'm saying this is the actual IP address and there is no any Cloudflare or any reverse proxy means if I am taking this IP address to any browser and I'm going to paste it over here, giving enter button, it will be directly redirected to the main website, or a website belongs to the original web page. See, I'm getting another website which is related to Kerala University, but it's of like a physical education website. But I'm getting a website over here, right? So in that case, I'm going to give those IPs to recon and giving enter. So right now, recon will be finding all those informations related to that particular IP address. So basically, we have to wait for it. Okay, and let's wait for it. Or how to like I hope it's time to wind up today's session, so I'm going to close it right now. Okay, so you guys just go with it, and how to say, if you're getting any error, you can come to my um, LinkedIn profile. So in your chat box I'm going to drop my LinkedIn profile. Okay, so you can come to my LinkedIn profile and ask whether if you have any doubt or any issue with the running those tools or any other method which I have shared in the previous session or by today. Okay, so for tomorrow, make sure that you guys need to how to like you need to run Kali Linux plus create an account in GitHub. And how to say, if you think that I need to get updated cybersecurity related tools and techniques, just try to follow me, because follow me in GitHub. Okay, there is no any profit for me to if you are following or not, but for you guys only I'm saying that you will be getting all those updated tools notification. Okay, so if I'm trying to update, or if I'm trying to add any new updated hacking tools to my GitHub repository, you will get a notification to your GitHub profile to and to your mail also. Okay, so make sure that you guys need to run Kali Linux in a perfect manner. Go with the update command and upgrade command, and after that you need to create a GitHub account, because tomorrow onwards we will be directly jumping towards the ethical hacking portions. Okay, fine. Is there any doubt or any how to like any I should do any troubleshoot for your Kali Linux or something like that, or shall I wind up today's session? Okay, fine. I believe that there is no any doubts or any other with your Kali Linux. Okay, so in that case, you guys can leave, and I'm going to wind up. I hope you just understand today's class. Okay, so thank you guys. You can leave the session.